Call me crazy. Okay, call me crazy. I know all of you woke up to the same thing this morning, that when the Cleveland Browns signed this dude back here, former number 1 overall NFL draft pick, you guys all woke up to whatever it was, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, telling you that the Browns are now Super Bowl contenders. And I am in that same boat. I cannot lie. You know, it might just be the hype of everything that's going on right now with the Cleveland Browns, because we all know it's insane right now. It's insane. It might be because I'm Jadeveon Clowney's number 1 fan, because I'm a huge Gamecocks fan and I've been following him his whole career. I don't know what it is, but this Browns team, it took them signing Jadeveon Clowney for people to really take this team seriously. And I took them seriously last year. Like, look at the players on this team. Even exclude Jadeveon Clowney, you still have 2 number 1 overall picks on that team. I think you got like 5 or something top 10 picks, and then you have 9 first round players on that team. Add Jadeveon Clowney, that's 3 first round picks, first overall picks, and you got 10 first round picks overall on this team. Look at the offense, first of all. We don't even need to talk about this Cleveland Browns defense yet, because their line just got even scarier. When you have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on the same line, 2 number 1 overall picks, that's going to be scary for this AFC North. I'm sorry, I'm a Bears fan, so I'm used to saying NFC North. But as you can tell, what we're getting into in this video is why the Browns are going to be Super Bowl contenders this year. This is a team that is in a win-ready now mode, and the people of Ohio must love me right now, because yesterday I come out with my Ohio State early season predictions video. So if you're a Buckeyes fan, which if you're a Browns fan, most likely you are going to be a Buckeyes fan, definitely check that video out. Let's get into this offense. First of all, starting off with another number 1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield. Now, we saw him make tremendous progress last season and leading the Browns to their first playoff victory in goodness knows how long. I can't even remember, because I wasn't even alive the last time the Browns won a playoff game. What a game against Pittsburgh that was, where they go out, they don't even have Kevin Stefanski. He's back home because he has COVID or whatever, and the Browns absolutely run over the Pittsburgh Steelers. By the way, Browns fans, I still have those Baker dance shirts out in my store right now, so definitely go get yours if you want to. They're only $20, of course. You want to clown all your fellow Steelers fans because Juju was dancing all over your field and everyone else's field, and then you got back to him in the playoffs, so that's pretty cool. Going off on whoever else is on this offense for the Browns, Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in all of the NFL. I think for sure a top 5 guy. I obviously think, well, it's not obvious if you haven't watched this channel, but if you've watched this channel, you know I'm a big Christian McCaffrey fan and think that he is the best running back in the NFL. But I think that Nick Chubb, definitely over the last couple of years, has definitely proven he's a top 5 guy in the NFL. On top of that, you also have Kareem Hunt. Go back a couple years to when he was on the Chiefs. He was also one of the best running backs in the NFL. Obviously, he caught into some things that I don't want to talk about on this channel, which ultimately led him getting cut from the Chiefs and then later going on to the Cleveland Browns. The wide receiver core. First off, I don't even like Odell. I don't like Jarvis Landry. I'm fine with Higgins. I'm fine with the tight ends that they got, like Austin Hooper, but I don't like Odell and Jarvis Landry. But I still know that this receiver core is really, really good. I don't want to say it's the best in the NFL, but it's still pretty much up there for some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. This team, this offense as a whole, not to mention the offensive line, who added on 2 guys last year who were absolutely huge. You got Wills from Alabama, and then you got Jack Conklin, took him from Tennessee. This offense as a whole was playing really well last year, and if they find their stride, this was a team that was a win away, a 4th down away, or a missed call. Obviously, if you've watched this channel, I made a huge rant video on that targeting call in the Browns-Chiefs playoff game that didn't get called. So they were really that call away from being in the AFC Championship against the Buffalo Bills. How crazy would that have been? Like, this was a good team last year. People just don't realize it, and I don't know why, because they lost to the Chiefs. This offense, if they can play consistent this year and they can put up constant points for Stefanski, this offense is going to be really good, and that's going to be a huge factor in why this team is going to be so successful. But then going on and talk about the defense, adding Jadeveon Clowney to this line with already Myles Garrett, guessing that Myles Garrett does not rip off any other quarterback's helmets and knock them in the head with it. I apologize for that, Browns fans. I had to do it. This D-line is going to be one of the best in the NFL. Jadeveon Clowney, yes, I know. I'm his number one fan. Obviously, I'm going to come out here and talk good about Jadeveon Clowney. But I know he has been a bit inconsistent over the years. He either has really, really good games, like you look at the last 2 seasons with Seattle and with Tennessee. He either has really, really good games or you don't really see much of him. But you know that when he has those really, really good games, this guy is a game breaker. A game breaker. His physical size, his athleticism, everything. Just go back and watch any of his highlight tapes, whether that be from high school, college, or the NFL. Just having this guy, the presence of this guy on your line, match that with Myles Garrett, you can't double team both of these guys. One of them is going to be left in single coverage, and then that's when you have your big opportunities to get big sacks. Drop Lamar, drop Ben Roethlisberger, drop Joe Burrow, whoever you want to be in the AFC North. This D-line is going to be really scary. Another thing that is really scary about this team, look at the cornerback room. Look at the secondary for this Browns team. You got Johnson at safety, you got Greedy Williams at cornerback, and you got Denzel Ward at cornerback. Lots of good talent in the secondary as well. This is a defensive division. I think we know that. The Steelers have one of the better defenses in the NFL. The Browns do have one of the better defenses in the NFL. I think the Ravens definitely do. The Bengals is a work in progress, but it's going to get there eventually. You need to have a really, really good defense to be able to match up. Yes, there's some good offenses in the AFC North right now, like Lamar and the Ravens. They're more of a running threat team. Their wide receiver core isn't as good as it could be for sure, but you're going to need a big D-line to be able to stop that rushing game with Lamar Jackson, with J.K. Dobbins, with all those guys that you got on the Ravens. Same thing, I'm guessing the Steelers go out and they grab a running back, probably Travis Etienne in the draft. I'm looking at him because they just cut James Conner. James Conner is gone. They're going to get Travis Etienne, so they're going to get a running back. And then the Bengals, even the Bengals, if they get an offensive line, you're still going to have a really good wide receiver core there because they're going to take Penny Sewell early in the draft, who's not going to be an easy guy to match up against. And this Bengals team still has a really good receiving core. So having a good defense for the Browns is absolutely key, and having that massive D-line with Myles Garrett and with Jadeveon Clowney is going to be lethal in the NFL. And I think that this team is a playoff contender team. I honestly do. Playoff contender, I meant Super Bowl contender. This team is going for the Super Bowl this season. It is Super Bowl or bust. They are not going to be looking, let's just make it back to the playoffs again, make our fans happy. No, you did that last year. The fans went through the roof when they beat the Steelers in that first round game, but they still wanted more. Yes, they were happy with making the playoffs, but there comes a point where the playoffs just ain't good enough. And this Browns team isn't... What am I going to say? I screwed that up. This Browns team isn't just looking to get to the playoffs. This Browns team and the fan base is looking to do more than just get to the playoffs, and they're looking for a Super Bowl now. Yes, you're going to have the Chiefs as a contender. Yes, you're going to have the Bills as a contender. Other than those two teams, who scares you? You got the Ravens and the Steelers in your own division, so you're going to have them figured out when you get to the playoffs in that scenario. But other than the Chiefs and the Bills, who really would scare this Cleveland Browns team? I honestly don't see it. I don't see it. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Browns are Super Bowl contenders. It's going to be a great year for Cleveland. Thank you for watching this video. Like down below, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and definitely come back next time.